What's going on, everyone? I think I should tell you again, like I did in my previous video, if you saw that one. Obviously the Phillies are out west. It is late. They started at 9:45 to begin these first two games against the San Francisco Giants on Monday night and last night on Tuesday night. So as I did in my previous video, if you caught that video, I was actually making that video during Monday night's game, right after the Phillies scored those 4 runs in the top of the 7th inning to take that 6-4 lead against the Giants. They ultimately won that game 6-4, but I was making that video yesterday, my previous video, during the game because it was late, midnight-ish. I need to get to sleep. I got to get up early, so I can't, wait till the game gets over at 12:30, make a video, upload it, and then get to sleep at 1:30 in the morning when I got to get up at 6:30 in the morning. So, like I did in my previous video, I am doing the same here on... You're seeing this video for Wednesday, but it is still Tuesday, late Tuesday night for me. It is the 7th inning stretch is when I came down to make this video. In Tuesday night's ball game, the Phillies unfortunately do not look like they're going to have that kind of same result, barring a last 2 innings of the game come back in the 8th and 9th. Right now, they are down 4-0 to the San Francisco Giants. Tuesday night, last night, in my time, you guys obviously know the end result of that ball game, but again, it's looking like, especially the way that the offense has been playing today for the Phillies, that it might end up in a loss. And if it is, oh well. If it's not, hopefully you guys are laughing right now saying, ha ha ha, you made this video. And they made a great comeback late in the ball game yet again to get another win. But I'm not giving up on them. I do have my phone here right next to me, so if there are any updates as I'm making this video, I will see it in real time, and I will let you guys know if there's any score change. Again, you guys know the final result anyway, but if you did not check any of that game last night, if you didn't catch any of it, if you went to bed early, or if you just couldn't watch it for whatever reason, I'm at least going to be breaking down most of that ball game for you here. Welcome into Phillies Daily, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Hennelly. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. It's much appreciated. Also, if you have not heard yet, I've mentioned it a few times in my previous videos now, Phillies Daily is now available on Spotify and Apple. So if those are your preferred podcast listening platforms, or if you have those platforms and you just want to give us a try there because maybe it's a little bit easier for you, more convenient, just better overall experience, go find us on Spotify or Apple, search up Phillies Daily. You'll see the channel, you'll see all the videos, and make sure to leave us a star review, however many stars you want to give us. And if there's an option for a written review, give us some of that too. Give us some feedback. It's much appreciated. Let's get into some more of the topics today. First of all, though, today, Phillies finished up this West Coast trip. It was a 6-game road trip beginning with the Colorado Rockies, which they won that series. And then today is the series finale against the San Francisco Giants. Aaron Nola on the mound for the series finale. It is a day game, 3:45 p.m. Eastern time here on the East Coast. First pitch, so 12:45 out there on the West. But again, if you're not watching this, if you're not from the West and you're on the East Coast here in the Philadelphia area, it is a 3:45 p.m. first pitch for us. Then there's an off day tomorrow on Thursday, and then we begin a 9-game homestand, the Phillies, starting after that off day, beginning with the Arizona Diamondbacks on Friday for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then a 3-game series against the Chicago Cubs at Citizens Bank Park. And then finishing up that 9-game homestand with 3 games against the Atlanta Braves. So a lot of baseball coming up, a lot of home games. If you're going to any, enjoy yourself. Again, welcome to Phillies Daily. Let's get into the actual topics here today. Wanted to begin with a roster move the Phillies did make the other night. And that was none other than Orion Kirkring, the young right-hander out of the bullpen. He had been reinstated from the injured list. And in a corresponding move, the Phillies did option left-handed reliever Kyle Backus to AAA. So Orion Kirkring back with the big league team. Kirkring had a 2.25 ERA with 5 strikeouts in 4 innings pitched with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs in AAA during his rehab assignment. And now obviously is back with the big league club. Kyle Backus, if you were following along here during spring training, he was getting a lot of hype in real life and by me here at Phillies Daily, if you've been paying attention. But he was impressing early on after being acquired in a offseason trade with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's got that left-handed funky sidearm delivery. People were raving about him early in Phillies camp. And then he was dominant throughout spring training. He didn't allow a single earned run, I believe, until the very final spring training game or second to last game, whatever it may be. His last appearance, he finally let up an earned run. So Kyle Backus only allowed 1 earned run through spring training. He was very impressive. I was talking highly of him. I thought he was going to be a nice addition to this bullpen. Didn't really translate over to his first couple of appearances with the Phillies to start the 2026 regular season. He allowed 4 hits, 1 walk, and 3 earned runs. And batters were batting .308 against Kyle Backus in just 3 innings pitched in his appearances here in 2026 during the regular season. He's now been optioned with minor league options to AAA Lehigh Valley to make room for Orion Kerkering. And so now the updated bullpen is for the Phillies. Their right-handed relievers out of the bullpen are obviously Joan Duran, the closer, Brad Keller, the newcomer who they signed to a 2-year deal this offseason, Orion Kerkering, Jonathan Bolin, who they acquired from the Kansas City Royals in that Matt Strahm offseason trade, and then Zach Pop, who actually pitched in last night's ball game, got out kind of out of a jam there. I'll get to that later on in this video. And then the lefties out of the bullpen with Kyle Backus no longer in the picture, Jose Alvarado, Tanner Banks, and Tim Meza. So that's what the bullpen's looking like. Orion Kerkering is back. Welcome back, Kerkering. A little bit of an injury update as well from last night's ball game if you were watching, or maybe you just saw and don't know really what happened because you didn't see the game. JT Realmuto did leave last night's ball game early after taking a foul ball he was catching at the time in the first inning off the kind of like a top side of his foot, missed kind of his padding and all. So he left that ball game. And after the first inning, Rafael Marchand did replace JT Realmuto in that second inning. Ultimately, they said while the game was still going on that JT Realmuto left that ball game with a bruise on his foot. Don't really know at the time I'm making this video. Again, the game's still going on at the time of this video. You guys are seeing this the next day on Wednesday here. But again, I'm still making it why this Phillies-Giants Tuesday night ball game still wrapping up. So I don't know the official word, but originally it was a bruised foot. We don't really know how long he will miss, if any time. But with it being a day game here today, 3:45 p.m. first pitch, he likely wasn't even going to play today at all. And now, after leaving that game early, he's probably just going to roll with Rafael Marchand in the starting lineup. I don't know. Again, we'll see. Stay tuned for the starting lineups, or stay tuned for more information on JT Realmuto if there's anything serious or more alarming moving forward. But it seems like it's probably nothing too serious. Let's knock on wood on that for JT Realmuto. Now, into the ball game, if you did not catch it, or just want to talk about the ball game, obviously, because that's what we're here for, to talk Philadelphia Phillies baseball. Not their day, not really the defense's day as well. Mostly in the fifth inning, some defensive miscues led to, sorry, my alarm went off, led to 2 runs for the San Francisco Giants in that fifth inning last night in that ball game. A couple of defensive mistakes. So first, the Giants led off that fifth inning with a 2-0 lead, or no, 1-0 lead at the time. The Giants led that inning off with a single. Then there was an error by Trey Turner at shortstop. He's been playing some great defense at shortstop so far. He really played some really good defense last year as well overall too. But he did make an error last night. Fielder's choice towards him, because that's where it was. A ground ball hit to him, made an error, kind of bounced away from him. He tried to rush it to try to turn a double play because there was some speed on the base paths. Ultimately, did not get a single runner because it went to hit him, went to the right of him towards third base. Both runners were safe at first and second. So instead of potentially a double play with no runners on there in the fifth inning, with just down 1-0 to the Giants, all of a sudden it was first and second, no outs. Now the Phillies did have a good defensive play right after that, so not a full defensive mess, not full defensive miscues. Rafael Marchand in there for JT Realmuto. Him and Bryce Harper had a little pickoff play on. So there was a pitch by Christopher Sanchez. Rafael Marchand popped up, threw it down to first, picked off the runner at first base for the first out of the inning. So Phillies got a little lucky there after the Trey Turner mistake. So there was 1 out, guy on second, still down 1-0 to the Giants. And then Christopher Sanchez did get a pop out to shallow right center field. I think Dylan Moore caught it right behind second base for the second out of the inning. So there's 2 outs all of a sudden. Guy on second base still down 1-0. Looked like they were going to get out of that jam. But then there was another defensive miscue. Probably should have got them out of the inning as well. There was an RBI double by, I believe it was Matt Chapman of the San Francisco Giants, which hit to left field. Otto Kemp was playing left field yesterday, obviously still adjusting to playing left field, kind of a newish position to him this season, getting a lot of playing time there this year, but again, still adjusting to that position. Didn't really read the ball correctly. Hard line drive, hard hit, tough play, but still should have been caught ultimately by Otto Kemp. Misjudged it, misread it. Ball got over his head, so it was an RBI double. That runner scored from second base. Giants took a 2-0 lead, and then the very next batter, there was an RBI single right after that. So the Giants took a 3-0 lead off of that. So ultimately, defensive miscues by Trey Turner and Otto Kemp led to those 2 runs by the Giants in the 5th inning to give them a 3-0 lead, as opposed to getting out of that 5th inning relatively early if there was a double play or if that ball was caught by Otto Kemp, still down just 1-0, and who knows if they did ultimately lose. Again, I'm making this video while the game's still going on. 4-0 right now at this point still, but if they did ultimately lose, that game could have been a lot different if they could have got out of that 5th inning still down 1-0. Christopher Sanchez probably still would have got through the 6th inning, or at least deeper into that inning. I'll get to him in just a second as well. Could have been a whole different ball game, but ultimately, defensive mistakes always come back to bite you, and it probably did. Again, I don't know the final score, but it's not looking good for the Phillies right now. I haven't got any updates about different scores right now, so still a 4-0 ball game late in the game. Probably the top of the 8th inning, I'd say right now. I don't have the exact thing right in front of me, but just not looking good for our Phils. So with that, I'm going to wrap this video up. Again, it's just after midnight here, Tuesday night into Wednesday. Now you guys are seeing this video for Wednesday, but with the 9:45 p.m. first pitch, I like to be in bed by 9 o'clock on the weekdays because I like to get up early for the gym, and then I have work and all. So usually on a normal day, I'm in bed by 9. I'm asleep by 10:30. So these 9:45 p.m. first pitches, I'm not a huge fan of, just because I have to make these videos to get them up in time for the next day, which is why I'm doing it. It's during the game still. 12:04 right now, it is right now after midnight for me. So I'm getting ready for bed. I'm exhausted. I was dozing off up there watching the game before I came down to make this. Christopher Sanchez overall, not sharp. Didn't have his best stuff, like he really didn't have his best stuff at his previous start either. Still got through his previous start fine, just not the normal Christopher Sanchez that we're used to seeing. Had some command issues in that one. This one kind of had a slow start, kind of found his rhythm as the game went on, though. Even had some pitches there. I think he hit 96, 97 miles an hour on his fastball a couple of times as the game went on. Again, ran into some defensive miscues by his teammates there in the 5th inning, which didn't help him out either. And again, it was looking like he was settling in there in those kind of 4th, 5th inning range. Again, could have been a completely different game if those defensive miscues did not happen. Ultimately, they did. Christopher Sanchez, again, back-to-back starts, just not his best after that great opening day where he had those 10 strikeouts in 6 innings, picked up the win against the Texas Rangers. Christopher Sanchez still not bad overall. Again, just not his best stuff last night. He did allow 11 hits. That is very, very uncommon for Christopher Sanchez. We have not seen him allow that many hits in a ball game in a long time. But the Giants, 11 hits off of Christopher Sanchez, 4 runs charged to him, but only 2 earned runs because of those 2 mistakes in the 5th inning. So 2 unearned runs, 2 earned runs, 4 total runs across his 5+ innings pitched. He did pitch into the 6th inning, but he did not record an out because he allowed a leadoff single in that 6th inning and then a ground rule double into Triples Alley there at Oracle Park. But ultimately bounced over the fence, so it was a double instead of a triple, which probably would have resulted in. So luckily for the Phillies, it only went 2nd and 3rd instead of a run scoring there with no outs. Zach Pop, he did replace Christopher Sanchez there with no outs in the 6th inning. He did kind of get the job done. He allowed a sacrifice fly there in the 6th inning, so the run from 3rd scored. Could have been worse, though, so it was a 4-0 lead for the Giants. That run was charged to Christopher Sanchez because he did allow that single and then double before he was pulled from the game. So that's why he ended that ball game leaving with 4 runs, 2 of those runs being earned, 2 of them unearned because of those mistakes in the 5th inning. So not his best day, 11 hits. That's just, again, very uncommon for Christopher Sanchez. But still, there were still flashes of a very good Christopher Sanchez. Nothing too much there to worry about. And then the Phillies offense, to the point of me making this video, through 7 innings, just absolutely shut down by veteran left-hander Robbie Ray for the San Francisco Giants. Very good start for Robbie Ray. He was an all-star last year for the Giants. He's been around forever, it feels like. But he absolutely shut down the Phillies offense. Again, a problem that's been a recurring theme throughout this season. Phillies offense either just cold throughout an entire game, cold for most of the game, and then come a little bit of a rally late in the ballgame like we saw in the series opener Monday night. Just haven't completely found their rhythm together as a collective group. Maybe a little bit concerning as the season keeps going on, but it's still early. It's still a long season. 3 hits, 0 runs, 7 strikeouts against Robbie Ray through 6 2/3 innings. He was pulled in the 7th inning, but then The Phillies did have a chance there. There was actually 2 runners on first and second when Robbie Ray left that ball game in the 7th inning. And then there was a wild pitch by the reliever who came in. So it was second, third, 2 outs. They had a chance to do some damage. Justin Crawford ultimately hit a little dribbler to the pitcher to record the final out. No runs scored. Got out of that. So the Phillies offense against Robbie Ray, again, 3 hits, 0 runs, 7 strikeouts through 6 2/3 innings. And then the reliever got out of that 7th inning for Robbie Ray unscathed. Not the best day for the Phillies offense. Again, this game's still going on. I haven't got any updates about a score change. So still not looking good for the Phillies. Hopefully they make a little bit of comeback here, whether it's the 8th inning still, while I'm making this video, or the 9th inning. But it's ultimately looking like a loss. I'm not trying to be too negative, but that's the way it's looking. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Phillies Daily. I'm your host, Mike Henley. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. I'm glad we're done with this West Coast trip so we can get back to a normal schedule for me at least. Make sure you guys check out Phillies Daily on Spotify and Apple. Leave some reviews for us. Let us know how you like this channel, and keep on tuning in here at YouTube as well. Remember, earlier first pitch here today to close out this 3-game road series and this 6-game road trip here. 3:45 p.m. first pitch, Aaron Nola on the mound trying to either sweep the Giants, whether the Phillies made a comeback last night on Tuesday night or not, or just go for another series win and end this road trip 4-2 out there in the West. Hopefully that happens. We'll see what happens. You guys are the best. Go Flyers. And as always, go Phils.